So we will call this meeting of the Ohio High Point Joint Vocational School District. Mike Ludlow's coming in, Dr. Smith.
Okay.
Joint Vocational School District to order. Roll call, please.
Well,
Yes, here.
Burkhart,
Here.
Buck, Burrows.
Here.
Oh, you're here, Jeff?
Yeah, he's
Yeah, I had to go to the phone.
Yep.
Dave Campbell? Here. Adam? Alyssa's here, isn't she? Yeah.
Alyssa's here, yes.
What's this here?
Mike Ludlow?
Yes, here.
Hello?
Here.
Paul McMahill?
Here.
Roger Moore?
I'm here.
Jerry Mauser here. Jeff Bell?
Here.
Henry? And Savage, you're here, right? Yep, I see you.
Yep.
John Stanford?
Here.
Not understanding your names.
Wallace?
Yes.
Right.
Here.
Just now they're not here, Eric. Is that right? What I'm checking off.
That's all I got.
Okay. Me too.
Okay. So we will say the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I'll say it for us as we open the meeting. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And then welcome everybody. And then Dr. Smith, I'll need an agenda up then.
I'm getting it right now, Madam
Thank
President.
you so much.
There we go.
And I think it's probably your turn to do an update, I would think.
Right there. We do have Nate Dunham with us. Can you see the agenda?
Yes.
Okay. We have Nate Dunham with us from WPKO. We have our attorneys with us from Brooklyn Eckler, Sam and Chris. We also have Dan from Freitag here tonight. You see a variety of administrators with us. And as I said, for those who came in late, Craig Conley, our social studies teacher, is working on his principal internship with Miss Rainey, and he is also on the call tonight to observe a board meeting. And so let me move on to district updates and give you some of those updates. I have quite a few tonight. One, I'm sharing, and so this agenda, so I can't show you what I wanted to, but behind me, when you get to see it, there's a flag on my wall right over my left shoulder. That was given to me at Veterans Day from our construction trade students. And it's really nice there. It hangs behind me now for all my Zoom meetings. I also have a Dr. Smith cutout from our plasma cutter from the welding students as a Christmas gift, I guess, this year. So I want to give a little shout out to them as well. We had the Common Cause running in the building by Shelley Swaney, and they gave out 500 bags of food to our students this year for Christmas. And then HOSA, ran by Megan Elkins, our health teacher, allied health and nursing teacher. She ran the HOSA food drive. And there was, 4 to 5 huge tables between juniors and seniors doing a food drive to give to our local food bank. So those will be some pictures I'm sure you'll see in upcoming board notes, things like that. Absences have actually been down, both staff and student. We have got to some of our lowest numbers since back in September. So even though the rise across other places, I think it shows what our F&G has done with a clean environment, and our students are following the protocol. And so for the first time today, we were in a number of teens that were actually sick. So it was like 15 students total. And we are down to like 3 staff members this week. And so those are some positive things going here into break. We are beginning to plan for next year. And then you have in your notes Senate Bill 89. I won't pull down the agenda to share that with you, but I want to highlight just a couple of things about Senate Bill 89, hopefully not to steal Paul's legislative report, but this was supposed to be the career tech deregulation bill. It was pretty much hijacked by the school choice movement and things that went back right before kind of pre-COVID and kind of got hijacked for a while, but it did get passed with the career tech stuff in it. And so it's going to help us out with substitute teachers. You also see that JVSs and career centers can now take over the business advisory councils. And I know that some counties are going to want to do that. And some counties are going to want to keep it and things of that nature ran through the ESCs, but now they have choices and we work with 3 or 4 of them. So we're happy to help however that might be. And it also changes our board meetings to be allowed to have it anytime during the month of January. And so next year we'll be able to have, not in 2021, but in 2022, this has been signed, but takes 90 days to become a law. We will be able to have our organizational meetings in 2022 on our regular 4th Wednesday. So hopefully it won't conflict now with maybe some of your other board meetings, or you guys will be able to do your organizational things or approve board members to come onto our board, and we will be able to not be backed up by that or held hostage by that January 15th date any longer as career centers. So that's all the information I had to report, Madam President.
Did we lose Ann?
I can't see the screen because I had, well, no, I can't because it was, I was sharing. Did we lose Ann?
Ann is muted.
Not by me.
I'm looking at the screen. She's muted.
Yep, I see that too now.
Okay, I'm unmuted. I gotcha. Okay, so we're going to move to item 3. So yeah, it would be item 3B, the district update, and Dr. Smith did part of that. But this is with the students of the month. Jennifer McMillan is Health Careers 2 from Marysville as a student of the month. And the font is so small on my screen there. There we go.
Kelly is Auto 2 from Urbana.
Auto 2 from Urbana. And then December 2020 main campus staff member of the month is Sarah Boonmaster, and she is the high school director's administrative assistant. And we congratulate all them for their achievements and their nominations. So we'll move to item 4, committee reports and presentations. Paul, do you have a legislative report?
Yeah, the legislative actually was pretty busy this week. Give me a second here on my phone here. I won't read them all. You just read the bills. Senate activity was House Bill 210. Senate passed House Bill 450. Senate passed Bill 372. The governor, of course, he signed amended to executive order to extend 21-day order that requires all persons stay at home. House Ways and Means Committee amended Senate Bill 95. Committee accepted a substitute version of Senate Bill 212. Committee amended Senate Bill 125. The Senate Local Government, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs accepted a subversion of Senate Bill or House Bill 75. Senate Insurance and Financial Institution Committee passed House Bill 38 and modified revisions of House Bill 751. Senate Education Committee took the 5th hearing on House Bill 436. The committee held sponsor testimony on Senate Bill 388. The committee held 2nd hearing on House Bill 111. The committee accepted the substitute version of Senate Bill 121. Sponsored testimony on House Bill 310. Sponsored House testimony on House Bill 409. Testimony on House Bill 367. And third hearing on Senate Bill 342. The House Primary and Secondary Education Committee passed House Bill 321. Held second hearing on House Bill 549. Committee held sponsored testimony on House Bill 577. Testimony on Senate Bill 317. House State and Local Government Committee amended the Senate Bill 331. Testimony on House Bill 398. Testimony on House Bill 466. Testimony on House Bill 517. Like I said, they were pretty busy this month.
Sounds so.
When we
Anything
read it, I could read it. Take about 20 minutes to read all this, but
Oh, thank you though for offering.
okay.
Thank you, Paul.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we will move on to number 5, topics for discussion. 5A is call for modifications to the agenda. And
The only modification is I want to make sure the board did get the addendum that came out for 9A, 9D. We had a resignation. Tammy Troyer, one of our secretaries here from Urbana, is resigning after years of service here. Wonderful person. And then we are employing somebody for facilities and grounds, Nate Purdy, out there from Riverside area, graduate of 2007. It has applied, and we'll give him a 6-month contract here to get started for facilities and grounds to finish out this school year. So I want to make sure those got into your packet or you knew about them. They were additions to 9A, 9D.
I think they were there in the pink pages for Mrs. Purdy, and then I read Nate's for them.
Yeah, it just came in. It just came in like on Monday or something like that. Monday, or I think we might even finalize some of that stuff on Tuesday. So just want to make sure you guys knew that.
All right, thank you. Item 5B is the recognition of our board members that will be leaving the board after this meeting. Well, no, we have a meeting on Monday night yet. So it's Kim Boswell and Roger Moore and Brian Wright. And
Yes.
So if we were at the school, we could all shake your hands and we can still applaud you. So do you want to go ahead, Dr. Smith?
Yeah, but I'll say Kim Boswell has given us 17 years of service. Roger Moore, 3 years of service. Brian Wright, 11 years of service. We greatly appreciate all they've brought to the organization. We do have gifts for you. We'll have to get them to you by carrier pigeon or something different during this pandemic. So we will figure that out after the Christmas rush probably of mail is over. So it doesn't get lost in that shuffle. But we do have gifts for you, and we appreciate your service to Ohio High Point Career Center.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
I'm gonna miss it. I'm really gonna miss having something to do, but I think it's time for someone else to give new opinions and new advice and be able to experience the good that comes out of serving on a board. It's very rewarding.
Thank you. Well, and then I think John and then Matt might miss you sitting by them, so there's nobody there to harass them now.
Not a chance.
I know.
If we're ever back in the building, I don't know who's going to get my name tag when we're done.
Maybe I'll come back. Maybe I'll come back just to harass you. How about that?
That'll work.
You would be welcome anytime. Thank you each and every one for serving, because each of you brings different perspectives to the Board of Education, and it's been fun getting to know you. And then even when we had those sessions where we went up there to the restaurant, I got to know Roger Moore better. And then it's like in the sessions that we had there at the in our conference room, it was fun working with all the different groups to get to know each other better. But thank you so much for caring about the education of the children in career technology.
You're welcome.
We'll move on to item 5C.
Welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Item 5C is the 2021 organizational meeting of the Board of Education, which will be January the 13th at 6:30. And then whenever we finish with that, then we'll move into the regular Board of Education meeting. And hopefully that would be around 7 o'clock. The All Boards Banquet in 5E is still on our calendar for March 24th, 2021. But I don't know how that's going to still sit with all the COVID and probably not enough people being immunized by that time. But we'll see. Hopefully we can do something or do it virtually.
Our
Anything?
kids would like to be involved with that. I just found this week that our culinary kids and stuff would still like to have a part in doing that with the sub that's in that classroom. So if we do have the All Boards Banquet, we'll try to work in those kids hopefully and get back to something like that. They would be excited to do that.
Super, thank you. It would be exciting to have them, and yet at the same time, you want them to be, they could certainly move the food in and out, but we don't want them exposed to, great numbers either.
Madam President, before you get, last thing probably should have put here that I don't see on here is, should the board decide to move forward with the bids after a conversation tonight, that would be on next Monday, the 21st at 6 o'clock. So for Nate Dunham and those people online, we'll contact you and put out the notice for the board meeting tomorrow. Should we move forward on the 21st on voting for contractors of the project?
Okay, thank you. Item number 6 is the approval of the minutes from the Board of Education meeting on November the 18th of 2020. A motion and a second.
McMahill.
McMahill and Brookhart, I believe. Are there any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Brookhart,
Yes.
Buck,
Yes.
Buck,
He said yes.
thank you.
Yes.
Burrows,
Yes.
Campbell, Dunham,
Yes.
Ludlow,
Yes.
McConnell,
Yes.
McMahill,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Purcell,
Yes.
Reams,
Yes.
Savage?
yes.
Yes.
Stanford,
Yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Oswell.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 7, an executive session, and I don't believe that is needed at this time. And so we'll move on to Dr. Smith. Could you move the agenda up on the page,
Sure.
please? We're at item 8, items for consideration. Okay, that's great. As recommended by the treasurer. So a motion and a second to bring items 8A through 8E to the floor for discussion and vote.
Ludlow.
Purcell?
I'm good. I have to.
Thank you. So Eric, whenever you're ready.
Certainly. Are there any questions that anyone has that I can answer? Okay, let's go to item 8C. This is an annual reporting requirement. The activity of our P card, which is basically a credit card program that we use. What you see is our annual spend. That is about half what it is typically, and the rebates that we received from those expenses. And then Item 8D, the 5-year forecast, was in your financial packet. If it seems a little downplayed this fall, as you probably know, that's intentional. We're missing two really big pieces to have an effective forecast. We are in the final year of the biennium budget right now. That leaves us guessing what state funding will be for the next 4 years. In lieu of not knowing that answer, the financial forecast just holds state funding flat over the next 5 school years. And then on the expense side, the COVID situation has completely disrupted school and therefore disrupted all of our spending patterns. So it would be very difficult to really forecast any type of expenditures right now. So what we have is an expenditure forecast that holds staffing constant over the next 5 years with no changes for any type of programming. So a very bland, vanilla 5-year forecast that satisfies our statutory reporting requirements.
And we thank you for that. And then all the work you put into it also. And it's a very difficult time. So thank you for pointing that part of it out also.
Eric, I did have a quick question on that. I know you included a 6-year assessed values, but not Hardin County. Is that because their adjustments are done, or we didn't get them from them?
I would not purposely exclude Hardin County.
Well, you listed Champaign, Logan, and Union, but not Hardin for the 6-year.
No, that was probably just an oversight, Matt.
Okay.
They would have been totally factored into
No
this.
problem. Thank you.
And then Eric, the last one was the disposition of assets, the horticulture books.
Yes, I believe those will be disposed of.
Okay. Does anybody have any further questions and comments of our treasurer? Anything further on your part, Eric?
No.
All right, then, if not, roll call, please.
Buck?
Yes.
Burrows?
Yes.
Campbell? Did anybody
Yes.
hear Dave? Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Dunham?
Yes.
Ludlow?
Yes.
McConnell?
Yes.
McMahill?
Yes.
Moore?
Yes.
Purcell?
Yes.
Reams?
Yes.
Savage?
Yes.
Stanford?
Yes.
Wallace?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Boswell?
Yes.
Brookhart?
Motion carries. We will now move on to, whoops, you went too far up. Item 9. There we go. Action items for consideration is recommended by the superintendent. We will take a motion in a second for items 9A through 9C to come to the floor for discussion and vote.
More moves.
Thank you. Need a second.
McConnell.
Thank you. Dr. Smith?
Yes, as you saw 9A, we have both Emily Flack and Tammy Troyer resigning. Both have been great for Ohio High Point, and we wish them best in their next stages where they're headed. We have 9C, which is standard abatement exemption for company in Urbana, And so we just approved, basically, as you guys know, what Urbana City Schools did, which was 75% for, I think, 15 years, if I remember correctly, was that. And so that, along with adding 9D, new hire for facilities and grounds, my area is pretty short. Is there any questions?
The agenda on our screen and the one I have does not include Tanya Troyer, just Emily Flack, unless I'm missing something.
No, they don't, I don't have it on my, I read it in the pink notes, but she's not on the motion, Dr. Smith.
Okay, hold on. Let me.
On 9A, she would need to be added.
She is added on my agenda.
Well, and I thought there was a second agenda, and I thought I pulled up the right one, but mine doesn't have her on it.
As long as it's on the official record, we're good. I just didn't want to have to vote on it again next month.
I thought I had the right agenda too. Okay.
And then, and that's all you have then, Dr. Smith?
That was all I had.
Does anybody else have any questions of Dr. Smith? If not, roll call, please.
Burrows,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Dunham,
Yes.
Ludlow,
Yes.
McConnell,
Yes.
McMahill,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Purcell,
Yes.
Reams,
Yes.
Savage,
Yes.
Stanford,
Yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Boswell,
Yes.
Brookhart,
Yes.
Buck.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 10A, we need to appoint somebody to run the organizational meeting of the Board of Education. So we would need a motion in a second and a name of the person you'd like to nominate.
This is McConnell. I'd like to nominate Ann Reams.
I second that.
Who is my second?
Me.
Dunham?
Dunham.
Me, I love that. All right, so the organizational meeting will be, of course, on the 13th of January at 6:30 p.m. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Dr. Smith, if you could move the agenda up the page a little bit for 10B. Here we go. This is a discussion and a vote for the certified base teaching contract that we will be using at a future date. In a motion, in a second, to bring it to the floor for discussion and then vote.
Dunham.
Buck.
Dunham and Buck. And then Dr. Smith, you have, it was lengthy, so it's important.
Right.
I mean, if you want me to read the whole thing in, but.
Well, I just want to make sure everybody understands who maybe have missed the conversation earlier that we had was we have our contracts based on 185 days. That is what our salary schedule is set to. And we have a 5-year agreement right now with our salary and fringe committee. And we just want to make sure the board is aware that due to satellites and other different issues with funding and contracts and negotiations of other schools, some of those have changed their contracts to where we are not all aligned on 185 days. We have, I think, as low as 178, as high as 186. And so we just want to make sure the board is aware we're going to act as if everybody's working 185 days as standard for those people who are traveling and going from a district to district. You know, they might only be on a 185-day contract, but they have way more hours than that. And if they're doing a spring break and working in the other district. We're going to pay them for those extra days of work, just like we've done in past years when we believed everybody was on a 185-day contract. So I think that's what this is summarizing. Eric, is there anything you want to add to that?
No, this is just the board recognizing the inconsistencies in school calendars across 15 school districts.
And so salary and working on this, we've already started, and we'll be doing this over the next year or two to try to come up with a solution to bring to the board on how this might be resolved.
So Dr. Smith, it says that this is retroactive. Is it retroactive back to when?
Eric, at the start of the contract, start of this 5-year agreement, is that?
I put the retro in there, not to go back and pay anybody differently. I put the retro in case this inconsistency thing goes back more than 1 or 2 school years. If somebody went back and said, hey, did you know in fiscal year 1999, your teachers at West Liberty only worked 100 days and yet you have a 185 base? This retroactive portion kind of covers that argument.
Because we
So
just
it
really
doesn't obligate us to pay them back to 1995?
No. Actually, all it does, Matt, Eric Adelsberger, you overpaid somebody for work they didn't do.
Okay.
Okay, Dr. Smith, if you could move the agenda up the page, please. Perfect. So are there any other questions or comments in this discussion? Roll call, please.
Campbell?
Yes. Yes.
Dunham?
Yes.
Yes.
Ludlow?
Yes.
McConnell?
Yes.
McMahill?
Yes.
Moore?
Yes.
Purcell?
Yes.
Reams?
Yes.
Savage?
Yes.
Nan, you're muted, so give me a thumbs up.
Yes.
She said yes.
Okay. Stanford?
Yes.
Wallace?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Boswell?
Yes.
Brookhart?
Yes.
Buck?
Yes.
Burrows?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Madam President, before we go into executive session, just let me say a couple of things here.
All right.
One, Nate and everyone, administrators will have to get off this call then, and we'll need to stop recording. Also, Nate, my cell phone number is 740-816-6637. If you want to call me later this evening, I know Kelsey's not here, but if you need statements or anything for tonight's board meeting, I would suggest calling in about 45 minutes or so, and I would be able to help you with that. But I want to make sure that that got out there because we have some other people in line tonight, Madam President.
All right.
There'll be no work to follow afterwards either. So there'll be no voting or anything like that after this executive session.
Okay, so for item 10C, a motion and a second to go into executive session to discuss the compensation of an employee in matters required to be kept confidential by state statutes, revised code 121.22 G5.
Buck.
Thank you.
Boswell.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Dunham,
Yes.
Ludlow,
Yes.
McConnell,
Yes.
McMahill,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Purcell,
Yes.
Reams,
Yes.
Savage,
Yes.
Stanford,
Yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Boswell,
Yes.
Brookhart,
Yes.
Buck,
Yes.
Burrows,
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
So then we should have the superintendent, the treasurers, the board members, and the attorneys. Correct?
Correct. I'm stopping the recording now.
Thank you.
Recording will start soon. While the recording starts. Okay,
It's recording.
it's now recording.
Okay, is there anything else for the good of the organization before we close tonight? If not, a motion and a second for adjournment.
More moves.
Buck.
Did you get two, Eric?
I got Moore and Buck, Eric.
Thank you. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much, everybody, and we'll see you Monday night at 6.